They say when you're an evangelist, you have one message. And I can remember back when I used to evangelize on the streets and around up at the boys' home and everything. I used to preach Mark 5, where you had the demoniac from Gadara, the demons and the pigs, all the sort of the things that come with the side of life that's not real kind. And in Mark 5 it says, on the other side of the sea they arrived. You know, a lot of us don't want to go to the other side of the sea. We're happy where we are. We know things aren't working. Things could be better. We know we're being challenged. We know the things that we could possibly fix but choose not to. There are so many things that could make our life better, but we're not willing to make the effort. We're not willing to cross to the other side of the sea, because crossing to the other side of the sea is not easy. It puts you in a whole different dimension of life, possibly a dimension that you're not used to, a dimension that you don't want, but a dimension that you know will be better for you once you become accustomed to letting things go and leaving things behind. When the Lord got to the other side of the sea, he got out of the boat. This is the thing, it's very hard to get out of where you're comfortable. We set ourselves up, we position ourselves in life in a way in which we're comfortable, but that doesn't mean that it's right. I've lost many friends through alcohol, through drugs, cigarettes even, all of them together. Died young. My stepfather died when he was 51. No, I don't want to do that. All his mates, they were all the same. They drink and smoke, drink and smoke. Everything was about drinking and smoking. And they couldn't get out of the boat. They couldn't cross to the other side of the sea. They couldn't do it. And what happens is, life has a way of bringing people across our path, and they want to take us out. They want to take us out. Our vibration is different to theirs, our light is different to theirs, the way we live life is different to theirs. And in many cases, these people have gotten to a state in life where they're demonized. They want to try and love, but they love in an emotional realm, an emotional state. Things get pulled from underneath them. They don't make right decisions. They hurt themselves. They hurt people around them. Everybody's love bombing each other, and the next minute they're attacking each other. Life's become dysfunctional. And when you cross to the other side of the sea and you get out of your boat, drop on land, you're not always well received. You've left the people behind that were misleading you and that weren't a good influence for you. You've decided that you've become a black sheep. You may have been a golden child or a scapegoat in your family, and all of a sudden you've seen that this ain't working. You've become the black sheep, and you've got into the boat, you've gone to the other side of the sea, and now you've left everyone behind. They've spat the dummy. Where do you think you're going? What do you think you're doing? You're going to improve your life. So everyone behind you is accusing you and rejecting you and mocking you and attacking you for leaving them behind. But you're determined. You're determined to get to the other side. But when you get to the other side, Jesus was met by a man by a person with an unclean spirit who came running out of the tombs towards him to attack him. And this is what happens to a lot of people. Christians come along who have got the light, chosen ones who have got the light. They come, God gives them an opportunity to be influenced in a different way. They come not preaching the gospel, but just showing by example, by their way of life, by the sacrifices they've made in life to avoid demonization, to avoid alcoholism, to avoid drugs, to avoid all the things that people have fallen for to destroy themselves. Are you going to listen to this message? Yeah, I'm preaching to my YouTube people. Righto, you too, mate. Love that family of yours. We've all just come in from Winging. Look at that, spectacular. When he got out of the boat, he was confronted with a person from a whole different culture, from a whole different realm, from a whole different way of life. This person had ended up in the tombs. I've met people like this. I've had girlfriends like this, where their life has just led them into a place that wasn't favourable, had done them a lot of harm. They wasted decades of time and decades out of their lives on things and with people that weren't favourable for them or to them. Life robbed them, their choices were wrong. They thought they were on the right path, they were stuck, they had children with people that they shouldn't have. They committed themselves. A lot of men will get women pregnant just to keep them around. But this man came running from the tombs. He'd lost everything. He'd been living in the tombs. And this is the point. A lot of people are living in a dimension, beautiful flowers, where they may as well be living in the tombs. Their life has gone from underneath them, they're hanging on, they're in debt, they're struggling, things have gotten away from them, they are trying to find their way out, but they've given in and they're being chained up, bound up, and left stuck in the tombs. And for many of them, they've made this choice to be there. I'm just letting people go by. They've made this choice to be there. They haven't been able to find their way out. Rent, bills, things like that, which have beaten them. They've just ended up in a tomb. Their meat suit their life wasn't the way that it should have been, wasn't the way that God planned for it to be. And no one could restrain this person. He wouldn't listen. There was nothing more that anybody could do for him. He'd probably been betrayed. He probably had advice that never worked for him. And they couldn't even chain him and restrain him. And though he was often bound with chains and shackles, he had broken the chains and shattered the shackles. There was no one with the strength to subdue him. And this is the way of a lot of women and a lot of men now. They're rebellious, selfish. They do have traits of empathy, but that could be just out of sufferance or for an income. I've had a lot of girlfriends that have worked with disabled people, which gives them an identity and stature that they wouldn't have otherwise. Gives them a sense of helping humanity, and they get paid for it as well. And this man could not be subdued. Nobody had the mentality or ability, characteristic ability, to be able to save him or help him. Everybody had given up. He was a rebel. Night and day in the tombs and in the mountains, he kept crying out and cutting himself with stones. And this is the whole thing, viewers, and this has happened to many of you. When the person saw Jesus from a distance, he ran. He ran. This man wanted to kill the Lord. He ran at the Lord. But he was running in the right direction. He saw him at a distance and he ran. He ran to take him out. He was going to take out the Lord. He saw him from a distance, and many of you have seen Jesus from a distance. You have decided that no, he is not what you want. It is not the way for you to go, and you've ran in the opposite direction. For one reason or another, you have run in the opposite direction. But this man ran straight at the Lord. He was going to take him out. He ran at the Lord. And when he arrived where the Lord was, he fell on his knees. And he shouted in a loud voice, many of you have had the opportunity to run towards a good Lord. You've seen him in the distance. You have had people that have come into your life and shown you the light. He is the light of the world. They haven't preached to you. They haven't tried to force Jesus on you or anything like that. They've just come with light to love. And it might be the only opportunity that you get to see the light that way. Although I've seen women that have had families that they've criticised, and some of these people that I've seen have been the most compassionate and empathetic people you could ever see, nursing each other, even in old age. To be criticised, I couldn't understand that, and I won't accept it. And many of you that are watching this have a Christian pedigree. You have ancestors that were Christian, and even if you haven't, you can be the black sheep and change the destiny of these generations that have been robbed and stolen from by decisions that didn't do them good, didn't do their children good, didn't help anybody or anyone. But if you're running from the Lord, no, that ain't going to help you or anybody else. If you're running towards the Lord, even if you want to hit him, even if you want to take him out, you are running in the right direction. The closer you get to him, the more you understand who he is. And when you understand who he is and you have that encounter with him, you will fall on your knees and you'll go, where were you all this time? And you'll stand there and go, my light was there the whole time. You just weren't ready to see it. Many of you have lived decades with the light right in front of you. And you've chosen selfish things to avoid it. You've chosen lust, rebellion, drugs, alcohol, and other things to try and soothe whatever your problem is. But no, you've been running in the wrong direction. it's time for you to turn and run back towards the Lord. I believe somebody's watching this message right now and there's something happening to them. I'm telling you, just say, Lord Jesus, come into my life. I've had enough of it. I haven't been able to find my way out. I haven't been what you planned for me to be. I'm sick and tired of the life that I have and the way that it's gone. I've made wrong decisions over and over again. I've been deceived by myself, like the rest of us. And I'm at that place now where I need you to help me. Jesus cast the demons out of that man. They went into the pigs. The pigs ran into the sea. Isn't that interesting? Jesus come from the sea. The pigs ran into the sea. You have to have your encounter with Christ. And if you do, don't miss it. Don't miss your opportunity to change your life for good. I know this is a bit of a Christian message, but I'm at the point now where I understand who changed me and why I got through the way I did. It was because of the one who hung on the tree and the people that led me to him. I pushed, I kicked, I screamed, I played up, but I got saved. Changed my life. The Holy Spirit filled me. I got the opportunity to minister to hundreds of people, thousands, in prison and on the streets, in the church. I left the church. Just wasn't cut out for it. I was more the outside person. I wasn't any good to people in the church. I was more a person that was like Christ, who would go and find the demoniacs, give them the opportunity to be free. And I've seen the light come on many, many people that never expected it to shine on them. And I don't think they're ever going to forget that experience. I think they'll take it with them for the rest of their lives. Many of you have made choices that didn't have to be the way that they were. Many of you have neglected things that didn't have to end up the way that they did. We're in a battle. And you do not want to end up with like the pigs that ran into the sea. They ran into the sea. The man ran towards Jesus and their problem, his problems, ran into the sea. As this sun's about to set, I don't know what the date is, but I pray in the name of the Lord that you come to your senses, you run towards him and accept your freedom by what he's done. I'm going to leave it to you to think about that. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist. Mark chapter 5 in the Bible if you want to look it up. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.